I've already got that one. If it's done, oh wait, we get to use this one too, right? Because Rob will be in the back. Okay. For the second one, he'll have the wireless out here so we can.
Sunday. We're going to do something special. We're going to do Again, thank you all for being here. All right, let's get started. Tonight, we'd like to welcome you to an authentic recreation of old-time radio shows, which was the dominant entertainment medium from about the mid-20s through the late 50s when TV took over. The first show we're going to do tonight is the Canterville Ghost, true classic, combining the spooky overtones of a haunted castle with wonderfully comedic writing. It is most often known for the movie version starring Charles Laughton titled the same name, which premiered in 1944. Original short story was written by Oscar Wilde in 1887. And what we have for you tonight is a radio rewrite of it, the version broadcast on the Escape radio program in 1949. What you see tonight is the way old-time radio shows were really done. This was not TV, so no one other than the audience saw the performance, and in some cases there was no audience. So the actors literally strolled up to the microphone, it was their time to speak, or shall we say voice act, and do their part, and then sit back down until it was time to come up again. Memorization, happily for all of us, is not necessary. Because we probably wouldn't be here, because I can't remember what happened. I can't remember where I put my glasses 5 minutes ago. So now sit back and relax and enjoy how America was entertained for a quarter of a century with the Canterville Ghost. Tired of that same humdrum vacation spot? Saw pictures of those quaint cottages and majestic castles in jolly old England? Want to change your travel plans? We offer Escape. Escape, designed to free you from the four walls of today for a half hour of peaceful countryside or high adventure. Tonight, we will find ourselves in an English courtroom after a less than idyllic experience across the pond in Merry England. It was certainly not the vacation trip we had bargained for. We now present the Canterville Ghost.
Now, as a servant of His Majesty's government, as royal mediator for psychic disputes between the living and the dead, I declare this hearing to be in session.
It sure did surprise me to find out the British government had a department like this.
It was established, Mr. Otis, by an act of Parliament in 1861, Mr. Churchill dissenting. I have a complaint filed by a Mr. Hiram B. Otis, formerly a manufacturer of beaver bristle toothbrushes in Cabin Creek, West Virginia, USA, retired, versus Sir Simon Canterville, the 5th Lord of Canterville, Knight of the Bath, Knight of the Garter, Knight of January 16th, etc., deceased, and existing at present as a ghost. Are the witnesses all present?
Well, I'm certainly here if you're looking at me. I'm Mrs. Otis.
A pleasure, madam.
I'm here too, sir.
That's our daughter Virginia, and them two's twins at the end of the table.
Ah, yes, indeed. Lovely little girls.
Ah, right in your eye, Mac.
Yeah, Roger.
Yes, indeed. Are you Lord Canterville? Are you with us?
Certainly. Did you imagine this spirit trumpet was being supported in the air by some supernatural being?
How silly. After all, he's a supernatural being.
I regret the necessity of asking you to use such an inconvenient device, Lord Canterville, but traditionally a ghost must always speak through a spirit trumpet.
I have never yet violated an English tradition, sir.
Most commendable. Also, since you are invisible to us, the spirit trumpet helps us to place you, as one might say.
I have no objections to it, but I do resent very much being hailed into this court on a trumped-up charge after more than 350 years of brilliant and successful haunting.
You just made a mistake by trying to haunt the wrong folks, bub.
Go on, hit him, Pop.
Yeah, bust him one.
Now, let's not lose our tempers. Keep calm. Reason and justice are bound to prevail.
Well, the whole thing is that there ain't nothing in my lease that says anything about the Castle of Canterville Chase being haunted. What the real estate agent down in London might have told me is neither here nor there. It ain't in writing.
I shall make note of it, Mr. Otis.
What I want is for this thing to get out of the place and stop bothering us. I won't call him a ghost because there ain't no such thing. I don't believe in ghosts.
Mr. Otis, suppose you tell me in your own words just when this trouble first started.
Well, you might say it all started when the missus and me decided to come over here, get ourselves one of those country estates. We figured it wouldn't do no kids the harm to get themselves a little culture and find out how the other half lived. So, I leased this here castle at Canterville Chase, and the trouble started the first day we got there.
I don't see any sign of a living soul around.
Wait, somebody gonna open it.
Hello?
Howdy, my name's Otis, Hiram B. Otis. This my wife. We're the new lessors.
I was told you ain't be coming over to take over the castle.
Well,
Welcome.
thanks. That place looks a little more run down than I expected, but I guess it's nothing paint and elbow grease can't take care of.
Well, y'all coming in, or you gonna let the flies in?
Sure, that's what we're here for. Go ahead, mother. Come on, kids, we're home.
I'm Miss Omni, your housekeeper. I trust my services will be satisfactory to you. They have been 3 generations of Cantervilles who have been as happy with me as a dog with 2 tails. Oh, I'm sure you'll get to our little ways in no time at all, Miss Ombre.
Oh, shit, where is it? Where?
Hey, Pop, are we really gonna live in this old barn?
Yeah, Pop. Looks like it might fall apart any minute.
No, I think it's built solid, all right. Needs a little modernization, that's all.
Oh, I just love it, just the way it is. It's thrilling and exciting and breathtakingly romantic and...
Now, Virginia, you know what Mother told you. No boys until next year. You're still too young.
Yes, Mother.
Maybe we'd better shut this door. It feels a little drafty. Need some oil.
Come on, Rockefellers, let me show you the library.
Let's go.
Library? What are we gonna do, Pop? Check out some books? Silly. A library in England is just like a front parlor back in Cabin Creek.
Then how come they don't call it that?
Oh, I think it's so thrilling. Why, it's like a movie set. Ah, nuts.
Now look here, you two. I brought you young'uns over here to get yourselves some culture. And I want you to start scrapping that American slang right now. Do you get me?
Sure, Pop. We'll be cultured before you know it.
Roger. This is the library, and from the looks of y'all, I probably need to tell you that. Oh my, what a nice big room.
Yeah, it's pretty dark though. Haven't you got any of them electric lights in here?
Unfortunately, yes. Sometimes that lets us see things a little more clearly than we'd like to. Better, Yank? It certainly helps, and as soon as I put some bright chinks curtains up on the windows and scatter a few magazines around, I'm sure the place won't look so gloomy.
That's right, Mrs. Umney. You just keep your eye on the missus. She'll turn this old castle into a real American home before you know it.
It's my dream come true.
Yes, sir, dear old Merry England. Right back where my ancestors started out from. Why, that fellow in the painting over there over the fireplace just might be my great-great-grandfather, if you only knew it.
I think you've been hitting the bottle there, Yank. That happens to be 5th Lord Canterville, who died here in 1575, mate, under very, very tragic circumstances, and whose ghost still haunts Canterville Chase.
Oh, now look, sis. Don't you start trying to give me that phony baloney.
I can assure you, Yank, that the ghost of Lord Canterville still walks these ancient halls, emitting terrible sounds of anguish and materializing in hideous and fearsome voices. He appears most commonly just before the death of some members of the family.
Well, so does the family doctor, but he ain't no ghost.
Hiram, look, something has been spilled all over the rug in front of the fireplace.
Yeah, it looks like ketchup.
That stain be blood.
Well, whatever it is, it looks untidy here. Please, have somebody clean it up right away, Mrs. Omni.
Lady Otis, that fresh blood stain has been here for more than 350 years, since the Lord Canterville cut the throat of his wife, Lady Lenore, on this very spot, following a slight domestic argument. The stain can never be cleaned.
Nonsense! 350 years? Mother, do you have that bottle of Dunkenheimer Super Colossal Spot Removal in your purse?
Oh, of course, Hiram. It's here somewhere. I never think of going anywhere without it.
Dunkenheimers will do the job all right.
Here you are, Hiram.
Oh, thanks. Now let's have a try at it.
Please, sir, I beg of you, such rash actions are sure to cause dire consequences.
I thought so. It's coming off sleek as a whistle.
Blimey, heaven preserve us!
Hiram, did you hear what I heard?
Yeah, somebody trying to be funny. Cut it out before I find you and wail the daylights out of you. Anyhow, you sound like a sick cow.
Hiram, the lights went out.
Hey, what happened?
That was no thunder, you dope. The ghost done it.
No, dear, you mean the ghost did it.
The ghost did not did it, done it, I mean do it. Where are those confounded candles? They were right here on the mantle and that, never mind, here they are. There.
Look, Mother, Mrs. Umney's lying on the floor. She's fainted.
Oh, dear, I thought she sort of looked peaked. Probably doesn't eat enough.
Fainted, Well, be sure and notice how long she's unconscious. We'll take it out of her salary at the end of the month. Pat, kick that door shut, will you? I feel a draft in here.
And I therefore maintain, sir, that these peasants have demonstrated by their testimony their own blame for the entire affair.
I don't know what they're talking about.
Hey, Pop, what's a pheasant?
It's some kind of bird, you know.
Everybody had always accepted me unquestionably as the ghost of Canterville Chase until these foreigners moved in.
What's he mean, foreigners, Pop? He's the one that's a foreigner.
The tradition of British castles being haunted is well established. By refusing to accept that tradition, this Otis individual precipitated the whole unfortunate affair, and I demand that his complaint be withdrawn without further discussion.
Order, and dignity, please. I'm afraid, Lord Canterville, that being an American, Mr. Otis cannot be considered bound by tradition. Suppose we get on with his testimony, sir. I presume that the following desecration of the bloodstain in the library you decided upon some form of retaliation?
Indeed I did. I was inflamed with fury. So foul a deed had never been done in Canterville Chase before. Visitors for centuries had come to view that famous blood spot with awe and respect. But no one before had ever dared to touch it. Late that night, I began to glide about through the dim corridors of the castle, endeavoring to think of some hideous and ghastly punishment for these stupid mortals. After an hour, I had it. I would materialize before them in my justly famous guise of Gaunt Gideon, the green corpse in phosphorescent chains. It was in this role, if you recall, that I drove Lady Abenack permanently insane, and some 20 years later, caused the young Earl of Dorchester to leap screaming from Watchtower and dash out his brains in the moat. It had always been most effective. At precisely midnight then, gaunt Gideon entered the corridor leading to the family bedchambers.
Off, you go away now, whatever you are. If you want to talk to me, my missus, you come back at a decent hour.
Here, take this bottle with you. Well, even if you didn't want it, it wasn't very nice to break it.
Hey, it's the ghost. Boy, get a load of that makeup.
Yeah, just call him Wilson's.
Yeah, real tender made that. What a ham.
Here, take a couple of these pillows. Let's give him what for.
Roger, now.
Now.
Hey, they go right through him.
Yeah, give him the other two. We got him on the run.
Mom.
Twins, stop that this minute. How many times have I warned you about throwing pillows?
We didn't hurt him none.
Hey, Mom, did you hear us? We were using an English expression.
Yeah, we say we're gonna what for?
I guess we're getting cultured already.
Well, that's fine, dears. Now, both of you, hop into bed right this minute. Good night, girls.
Good
night, Mom.
Mom.
We're boys.
I had never been so insulted in my whole death. After a brilliant career of haunting for more than 3 centuries, to have pillows thrown through me. I sat in one of the secret dungeons of the castle for the rest of the night, burning with rage and glowing alternately blue and green. By the first crowing of the cock, however, I had plotted my revenge. I vowed that 3 nights later I should appear in the terrible role which once had caused the Duke of Munsey to stab himself to death in the rose garden on the eve of his wedding, and had placed Lady Berkeley under the care of 3 strong physicians for the remainder of her natural life. I had no doubt whatsoever but what the entire Otis tribe would be driven into foaming madness when they saw me as Headless Herbert, the gaudy cadaver of Hempstead Heath.
Armor hot dog. What kind of kitchen armor hot dog? Get my chicken pot, someone. Armor hot dog. The dog is not real nice. Picking it up on the old man Joe. Put on the muffin and away we go. What would you, my dog, say, you know? Armor hot dog. The dog is out to
We now return to the courtroom where Lord Canterville is defending his ghostliness against those American ruffians.
Very well, ladies and gentlemen. Shall we get on with the hearing now? As you were saying, Lord Canterville, you decided to appear to Otis family in your hideous guise of Headless Hubert, the gory cadaver of Hempstead Heath.
Precisely. And I proceeded then to make my preparations.
How come he gets to do all the talking here? I'm the guy that filed the complaint.
Yeah, you tell him, Pop.
Sure, give him what for.
Now, no emotionality, please. I'm sure, Mr. Otis, that a man of your fairness will want to give the ghost, that is, Lord Canterville, every possible opportunity to explain his motives.
I didn't realize a ghost had motives. I thought they were just what they did because they, well, you know, that's all.
There is no such thing as a ghost.
I know there isn't, Iram. I was just talking.
Quite so, Miss Otis. And now, Lord Canterville, you may proceed with your testimony.
My eternal gratitude, madam. Very well. Having decided upon one of my most horrifying roles, I did nothing for 3 days in order to lull the family into a false sense of security. But late on the evening of the 3rd day, I prepared for action. After first performing the necessary mystic maneuvers, I repaired to the library, where the Otis clan had gathered following dinner. It was a perfect night, damp and gloomy, and with only a small fire flickering dimly on the hearth. It was necessary to put out the lights in the room, and this I did in my usual manner, by means of a thunderbolt.
Oh, dear me, Iram, it's happened again.
Yeah, doggone the electrician that put the wiring in this house anyway. Every time you turn around, the lights go out.
Oh, no, that's not it, Papa. It's the ghost. I'm sure of it. It's a sign he's going to appear.
Guess again, sis. He's already appeared.
Yeah, he come right through the wall.
I guess we scared him the last time. He put on a suit of armor.
Yeah, and he's carrying his head in his hand. Hey, Pop, how can he moan like that when he ain't got no head on?
I absolutely refuse to take any part in this. A ghost is nothing but a figment of the imagination.
I don't know, Iram. He certainly looks real.
Bosh! He doesn't exist because he can't exist, and that's all there is to it.
I do wish the lights would come back on. I had this sock almost done.
He sounds so unhappy. I'll bet he's the victim of a lost love.
Oh, his own fault, murdering his poor wife like that. Then I understand her brother killed him, or so Mrs. Omni told me.
You see, it was a tragedy, a killing in passion. Oh, I think it's so exciting and so...
Oh, Virginia.
How is
Yes,
Mrs. Umney,
Mother.
by the way?
Resting very well, so the doctor told me this morning. They still haven't let her out of the straitjacket, of course. My turn. I suppose if we were back home, we wouldn't want him around at all. But here, in this old castle like this, he makes the place seem silent for me.
Confounded nuisance, that's what it is.
Hey, Mom, do you care if we shoot him with our bean shooters?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt him. He's got armor on.
All right, but be careful of the windows.
Okay, Mom. You
Roger.
ready?
Roger.
All right, now.
Bullseye.
Come on, let's give it to him.
Hey, we got him on the run.
Come back, you coward.
Look, he went right through that door without opening it.
I'm waiting for him to wail. Where we at? The ghost. He saw it all right.
Yeah, it must have scared him half to death.
Well, that's nice. The lights are back on. Maybe I can get the sock finished after all.
Hey, why didn't we think about to get the camera?
Yeah, we could have took some swell movies and sent him back
whiz.
home.
Settle down now, kids. The fun's all over for tonight. And I'm sure you'll have plenty of other chances to take movies of our friend. Maybe Father will help you set up the camera. Iram, I declare I never saw such a man in my life to go to sleep in his chair right after dinner.
I am quite sure you can understand my feelings after such a night as that. Can perhaps sympathize a bit. To be attacked by ruffians armed with bean shooters, I, Lord Canterville, who never drew a sword lest it be against a foe of noble blood, to be ridiculed, ignored, and even disbelieved. And finally, when my humiliation grew too great to bear, to encounter that horrible monster lurking in the dark corridor.
Ah, it's only an old jack-o'-lantern.
Sure, we made it out of a pumpkin and put a candle in it.
So I discovered when the dawn came. But the damage was done. My nerves were jangling as though I had seen a ghost.
Well, how ridiculous. After all, you are a ghost.
Quite a different matter, I assure you, madam.
He's not a ghost. Whatever he is, he's not a ghost.
I warn you, if this churlish beggar makes that statement once more, I shall...
Now, none of that. We must be calm about this.
Calm? How can a man of spirit be calm after being harried from pillar to post by such a family as this one?
You started it. It's your own fault. If you'd have left us alone, we'd have left you alone.
I had to haunt you. Haunting is my career. I'm a ghost.
Ain't no such thing.
I have haunted Canterville Chase for 3 centuries, my good man.
Doesn't say anything about it in the lease.
Lease? You may take the lease, sir, and you may...
Please, gentlemen, I'm sure that in the end, reason will prevail. Perhaps you might continue with your testimony, Lord Canterville.
It becomes a bit painful when I recall my final crowning effort. If you will bear with me.
Of course, we understand.
Very well, then. After such terrible treatment, I dared not venture from my dungeon during the next 3 nights. I sat and shivered, not knowing whether my privacy might be invaded even there. But while I shivered, I thought. And gradually I began to realize my 2 great mistakes. First, I had approached the family when they were together, instead of separate and alone. And secondly, I had merely moaned and groaned, but not actually spoken to any of them. I resolved to correct those errors that very night. I would slip into their bedchambers, one by one, whispering awful things into their ears as they cowered in their beds. And I was quite sure that the happy morning sun would find in Canterville Chase 5 raving maniacs. Virginia was, and since she had said a few kind things about me, for her I decided to use one of my less hideous roles, that of Homer the Hermit, or the man without flesh. I floated through her keyhole and shook her gently by the shoulder.
What's the matter?
Wake up, Virginia. Wake up and look and scream.
What's going on? Oh, it's you. Hello.
Are you not terrified? Quaking with fear?
Hey, you can talk just like people.
I am a creature of doom, Virginia, out of the cold grave and the blackness of night.
Tell me something. Did you really love your wife?
What?
I mean, when you were both alive, before you killed her. Was it a crime of passionate love?
My dear young lady,
My mother says I shouldn't talk about things like that, but they're so exciting. Don't you think so?
I have no idea. What is the scent in this room?
Like flowers, you mean? It's my perfume. Real 20 carat. Mother says it's too old for me, so I only wear it when I go to bed. Do you like it?
I really must be going.
You can take on all kinds of shapes, can't you? Why don't you turn yourself into a prince right now and climb up into my window? Wouldn't that be thrilling?
Yes! No, I mean, I have to leave now. Shouldn't be here. Mistake, you know.
No, don't go. Just when I'm all waked up. Tell me about your wife. Did she nag you all the time? Is that why you cut her throat?
My dear young lady, please, is nothing sacred. I required several minutes to compose myself before approaching the chamber of Mrs. Otis, and my confidence by then was somewhat shaken. She awoke instantly as I came near her bed, this time in my famous role of Cold Meat Cuthbert, the tattooed shroud with the rolling eyeball.
Oh, I'm so glad you dropped in. I've been worried about those moans and groans of yours.
All is ended now, madam. Prepare to meet thy final fate.
Well, I declare, if you're not actually talking...
The empty tomb awaits thee. Come!
Stop that silliness now. What I was saying, I remember how Uncle Theodore used to moan the same way, and it turned out to be his stomach.
His what?
What finally cured him was Dr. Doble's capsules. There's a bottle of them on the table that I got out of the trunk for you. Now, the best way to take 2 before breakfast, and then 2, well, I declare, he's vanished.
I don't care if you are piecemeal Percy, the drawn and the quartered fragments. It's the middle of the night and I'm sleepy, so you get on out of here and quit bothering me.
But look at me, gruesome and horrible. Are you not filled with loathing and horror? Are you not paralyzed with terror?
Doggone it, I'll show you whether I'm paralyzed or not. Now then, take a look at that. That there's a .45 caliber horse pistol, and if you ain't dead already, you darn soon gonna be. Now get out! Do you hear me? Beat it!
I still had one ace up my sleeve. A royal so fearsome that I had not seen fit to use it since 1823, when it had caused Count Romanic to draw out his sword after one glance at me and methodically to cut off his own head. For those unspeakable little monsters, the Otis twins, I resolved to appear in the guise of two-headed Terence, the blubbery thing in the glass jar. Quietly, I approached their chamber, and as I drew near, I saw that the door stood slightly ajar. I reached out my hideous hand and gently pushed it open. Poltergeist! By the elves above, the poltergeists are back!
Oh boy, the old bucket of water trick, and did he fall for it?
Nah, you mean the bucket fell for him.
Zounds and lycanthropy!
What's the matter, Mac? Get your bones wet?
Calm yourself, old boy. Here, have a lifesaver.
You little monsters. You double-dyed, unexpurgated, pusillanimous, orthocephalic little monsters!
Hey, that character can really talk.
Yeah, wonder what he's supposed to be this time.
Don't know. Looks like a wet-soaked Walter, the drowned madman.
A container of water placed over the door. Only a depraved idiot would play such a foul prank.
Yeah, we were lucky, that's all.
Sure, we were scared you might come through the wall instead of the door.
Can the two of you not realize that I am a hideous sight? Are you not terrified to the point of insanity?
Nah, we used to sit through the horror pictures twice.
What do you think we are, squares?
Go on, do some more tricks. Make it like the Hound of Canterville, or whatever that name was.
Sure, turn into a dog, and we'll feed you a can of Strongheart.
The last straw. A dog. To be ridiculed, insulted, manhandled, and then asked to turn into a dog? I cannot go on any longer. I simply cannot. This is the end.
Very well then, since no one else seems to have anything more to add, I believe we can assume the testimony to be complete.
Good. Then suppose you order this thing to get out of the castle and stop bothering us.
I, my good man, have lived in Canterville Chase for over 350 years. You are the one who is trespassing.
I got a lease, though, and you ain't.
Bah! Take your lease and get out, I say, and ask someone to move in who is willing to be haunted, someone who observes the proprieties of such things.
I know my rights, and I ain't gonna budge 1 inch.
Don, hit him, Pop.
Yeah, break his arm. Go ahead.
Please, gentlemen, please, I'm quite sure we can settle this in a matter to the satisfaction of all concerned, though I Fail to see how at the moment.
I just told you.
Mr. Otis, now there are a great many other lovely castles in the English countryside, and I have no doubt but what...
No, you don't. We're sold on this one, except for the electricity and the plumbing, of course.
Oh, dear me, Lord Canterville, let me show you some wonderful...
No!
There is one lovely empty castle in Sussex, for example.
I would not be dead haunting a castle in Sussex.
A beautifully dilapidated place, and with only one other ghost now in residence, that of the Lady Lucretia de Bonsonbilt.
Lady Lucretia? I say now, was she the one with the warts on her?
Oh, no, Lucretia was the younger sister.
Ah, yes. I remember now. There was one night after a tournament at Kenilworth that... Yes, an utterly ravishing creature, as I recall.
Oh, yes, indeed, a girl of truly remarkable spirit.
So little Lucretia is all alone down there in Sussex, eh? Died and became a ghost, a phantom, a wraith. The wraith of Lucretia. What a delightful picture that conjures up.
Then you'll go, Lord Canterville?
My dear lady, I am practically aboard a spirit plane at this very moment. However, I do have one farewell remark to make to the Otis tribe. It is simply this. Furthermore, the roof on the castle leaks.
About the noise.
Well, now, that takes care of that. I believe we can safely say that after all these centuries, the ghost of Canterville may be considered laid to rest at last. The hearing is adjourned.
All right, so I guess the ghost is headed down to Sussex, and he sounded pretty happy about that. So you see him flying on by, you know who that was. All right, we want to make one special announcement for the young lady who was our organist for this adventure. Ms. Juliet Selecki and her very proud parents there, Jason and Michelle Selecki. It was so kind of her to join in, and so we thank her for doing it because Andrea is on the next one. And so thank you, Juliet, very much. And now, yes, let's give her applause. And I also want to make note of one very special lady up here. It is the dear Mrs. Otis, who along with her Dunkenheimer stain removers can do almost anything. So she, due to a lack of parts in the next one, does not have a part in the second show. So let's have a hand for Nancy Davis. All right. Thank you. All right, now we're going to take about a 15-minute break totally, but it is going to come with music. So someone, and I think I know him, is going to be singing over there. So you can meander around or whatever, and probably it'll be loud enough you can hear no matter where you're at. But we're going to start off with an Elvis song, Blue Suede Shoes, and we will start off in about 15 minutes with the Johnny Dollar, the Ghost to Ghost Matter.
Well, thanks. Timing was off one time. There's so many things going on.
It's all good. It's good. We all did great.
That was for my pot for the gun.
Hey, my mic was dead the very first time, wasn't it? It wasn't? Because I thought I turned it back on. Okay. Really? Okay, good. All right. Thank you so much. I thought that was great. Andrea. All right. Here we go, little Elvis. Oh, we got to start it again. Is the sound down on that? Yes, the sound is down on that. So I'm going to bring it back to the beginning.
My timing on one thing alone. I was doing so many things at one time. They came up quick.
Test. Well, it's one for the money, two for the show. Three to get ready now. Go, Ted, go, don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do it, family, off of my blue suede shoe. Well, you can knock me down, step on my face. slander my name all over the place. Do anything that you want to do. And honey, no heaven up you, don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. Let's go, cat. I will take requests. After this one, you want something else, we'll sing something else. Well, you can burn my house, steal my car, drink my liquor from an old fruit jar. Do anything that you want to do. But honey, lay off of my shoes and don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. Let's go, cats. Too loud or okay? Okay, volume all right? Well, it's one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready. Now go, 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 but don't you step on my blue suede shoe. Well, you can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoe. Well, it's blue, blue, blue suede shoes, baby. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes, mama. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes, baby. Blue, blue, blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off of my blue suede shoes. Thank you. And if you have any requests, you can shout them out. Oh, I thought I heard something there. All right, we'll do a little Folsom Prison, and then we'll do some Sinatra. But we are open to requests shouted out if you want to hear something else. Biddy, 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 biddy. I hear the train a-coming, it's rolling round the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps a-rolling on down to San Andreas. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't you ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Bet those rich folks eat in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep on moving, and that's what tortures me. From this prison, that railroad train was mine. I'd move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I long to stay. And I let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away. All right. Now we'll do a little Sinatra. Anyone have a particular Sinatra they like? Just don't say My Way. Too long, too ponderous. Anything else? All right, I guess it's singer's choice. Okay. Mary Ann's favorite song is New York, New York. So I'm going to do that for her.
Really?
Mary Ann's just leaving the building. That's the one song in life she doesn't like. All right, we got a little leg kick in here. All you ladies can get up and... Right there, there's the ones who can do it. You can line dance to this. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I wanna be a part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes, I like it. I longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I wanna wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. And if I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you. New York, New York. Mary Ann, she's been converted. She's loving it now. Singing along as well. New York, New York, I will wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm a number one, top of the list, king of the hill, a number one. These little towns are melting away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York. And if I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you. New York, New York. Big finish now. Join me. New York. Thank you.
I wouldn't know what to say.
When you figure it out, let me know.
Okay.
Just come up with something quick. Oh, let's do a beer, wine, whiskey. Anyone ever heard the song Beer, Wine, Whiskey? Hey, boy. It's a good one. Mary Ann actually likes this one. Same level. If you haven't heard it, I think you'll like it. My friend named Jack, he's got my back. He always seems to know right where I'm at. My friend Jose, he likes to play. He's He's always up for anything I say. A little bit of red, a lot of bit of crown. Don't matter what it is, I'm gonna drink it down, down, down. The wine, the beer, the whiskey, how they hold their things that'll fix me. I'm not saying it's a problem, I can stop it if I want it, but the wine, the beer, the whiskey, they always get me. My friend named Jim, she's got some friends. I'm talking Brandy, Shorty, and her brother Jim. My friend, the captain, we call him Morgan. He's gonna hanker down and hang out till the morning. A little bit of red, a lot of bit of white. No matter what it is, it's gonna make it all right. The wine, the beer, the whiskey, how they hold their things that'll fix me. I'm not saying it's a problem, I can stop it if I wanna. But the wine, the beer, the whiskey, they always get me. He's my amigo. I'm gonna follow him around wherever he goes. The wine, the beer, the whiskey, how they hold their things that'll fix me. I'm not saying it's a problem, I can stop it if I wanna. But who would wanna when the wine, the beer, the whiskey, they always get me. They always get us. They always get me. Get Barry. Jim B. fan. They always get me. They always get us. All right, we're about, thank you. We're about 2 minutes away from getting restarted.
Oh, I was going to do a song, but we're only 2 minutes out. Small Town Saturday Night, can you make the words?
All right, we got Paul coming up to do Small Town Saturday Night. One of the common themes here is a lot of us like to sing. And just for the record, Barry, Sandy, Lisa, Paul, all professional KJ hosts. So there's kind of a common theme there with that. All right, so what'd you want, Paul? Small Town Saturday.
Yeah, we make the screen bigger, right? Do one and then... Yeah, that'll be it. I'll make it Thursday night. We're Thursday night, right? No, not working. Oh, okay.
That's what it looked like.
All right. Sorry.
Change the rules. Change
We only got this song. You're right. Sorry, no internet. All right, Paul was going to do that, but we don't have internet up here. So these songs had to have been saved offline. I never sing Small Town Saturday Night. Sorry, Paul. Paulie. Screw. Yeah, there you go.
What's that?
All right, so we'll do one last Sinatra.
Check.
Just a nice mellow one.
Check, check.
Oh, now that's what I'd like to see. You two dancing. Some of you should dance. Shark Sandy, go for it. The summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It lingered there to touch your hair. All summer long we sang a song and strode the golden sand. Two sweethearts and Well, summer wind, like painted kites, those days and nights, they went flying by. The world was new beneath the blue umbrella sky, and softer than a pipe of man, one day it called to me. I lost you to the summer wind. The autumn wind and the winter wind, they had come and gone. And still the days, those lonely days, they go on and on. And guess who sighs? Here's a lullaby through night that never ends. That fickle friend, ooh, the summer wind. The summer wind. The summer wind. That summer wind. Thank you, one and all. And I was remiss to not mention that Andrea Migliaccio happens to be a professional organist, and she performs weekly at pianist. Sorry, no organ, just piano. At where? Elegant Pelican. Friday nights for dinner. She's fabulous. She's terrific. All right. Now we're going to get moving on to the next program, which is Johnny Dial, the Ghost to Ghost Matter.
No, he just shut it off. Yeah, this one's perfect. Hello.
Good for you.
Yeah, but he's gonna turn it up.
But I thought he was using wireless. Guess we'll find out.
No, he set this one up.
We need an extra.
We just stick with the wire? Would that be better?
Enough said.
We do have the extra. We're supposed to talk about each other. There's not a line. He's gonna use the wireless. Okay. So then this one can come down. Yeah, and then we're not.
Okay, everyone, thank you, and thank you for all being here. Second time around. All right. Our second show tonight is one of the longest-running, best-written sort of detective genre programs titled Yours Truly, Johnny Dollar. Has anyone ever heard of that show? Some have. That's awesome. Probably 20 years ago was the first time we stumbled into old-time radio accidentally. And there's some great programs because some are really well written, and writing is everything. And they were fantastically done. I mean, truly entertaining. And so I moved away from my little script here. He was described as the insurance investigator with the action-packed expense account. It ran for an amazing 700-plus episodes, with no less than 8 different actors taking the lead role, of which the most well-known was Bob Bailey, who was actually this episode's Johnny Dollar. When Johnny Dollar ended its run with the Tip-Off Matter on September 30th, 1962, it was the last broadcast of the old-time radio detective shows to air. Tonight's episode is the Ghost to Ghost Matter, continuing with our Halloween theme. Enjoy.
It's time now for
Johnny Dollar.
Hey, Johnny, it's Pat Price, International Press.
Holy smoke, Pat, what are you doing up at this time of the morning?
Well, I'm on the night desk, and I'm sorry, but I had to wake you up.
Oh, so am I.
Listen, I got a call from a frantic one from a guy who insisted on having your phone number.
Well, did you give it to him?
Listen, yes, he Wait a minute.
Keep going.
He said,
Line 9.
he said he's an insurance man,
This happened real time in real-time radio, too. He just kept right on going. It was the best parts of the show.
and it's about an insurance matter. So yes, I did.
Well, why did he call you?
He said, that puzzles me too. But he was so excited, so frantic, well, probably called the first person on his list. He said that it was a big emergency.
Did he give you any details?
No, and Johnny, I was aroused by my curiosity to let him know that I would,
Okay, well,
what it was all about.
I promise I'll let you know.
You promise?
I do. Okay, Pat.
Bob Bailey and the exciting adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, Act One of yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar. State Unity and Life Insurance Company, Home Office, Hartford, Connecticut. Following is an account of expenses incurred in the investigation of the ghost-to-ghost matter. I no sooner rolled over in the hope of getting back to sleep when the phone beside my bed started jangling again. Nuts. Johnny Dollar.
This is Oscar H. Trimley, Mr. Dollar.
Trimley?
I represent State Unity Life here in Inverness, Florida.
Look, are you the guy who called Pat Price over at International Press Service?
Yes, I did. I did get your phone number. I knew you'd have it. You being such a famous investigator and all that.
Yeah, well, he could have also gotten it from Universal Adjustment Bureau, the insurance directory, and the long-distance operator.
Yeah, I guess. I've been so upset over the whole thing that it never occurred to me. But, can you come down here to Inverness, Mr. Dollar, right away?
Well, it depends. What's this all about?
Ian McAndrews.
Who's Ian McAndrews?
Don't you know? He's the man who founded Inverness.
So what's happened to him?
He's dead, Mr. Dollar. Or, rather, he isn't.
What?
That is, so to say, he died, Mr. Dollar, about 5 years ago.
Well, then you're going to have to bring me up to speed on that and tell me more what's going on.
Okay. But now, Mr. Dollar, you won't believe it unless you come here and see it for yourself.
Won't believe what, Oscar?
Ian McAndrews has come back.
Huh?
Either he or his ghost, he's come back here.
Oh, now wait a minute.
No, wait a minute, it's true. It's absolutely true, sir. Ian McAndrews is haunting Inverness, so please come as quickly as you can.
I'll think about it.
Is that the best answer you can give me?
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Till I see how things line up for me these next few days. Goodbye, Mr. Trimley. Think about it. I could hardly wait to grab a train to Inverness. But I didn't want Oscar Trimley to know that because I had a really strong suspicion that if I could catch a ghost off guard, I'd be one up on him. Expense account item 1, the promised phone call to Pat Price, International Press.
Are you kidding me, Johnny?
No, I'm deadly serious, Pat.
But a ghost in little Florida town of Inverness?
Yep, I'll keep in touch. Then I remembered Nancy Turner, an old flame, or rather, a young old flame. She said something one time about taking up an investigation of the supernatural. So expense account item number 2, another dime for another phone call.
You old rascal, Johnny. You haven't called me in ages.
Well, honey, you know how it is. Look, Nancy, did you ever go ahead with your study of psychic investigation?
Psychic? Oh, no, Johnny. I thought I'd have to read a couple of hundred musty old books, so I gave it up.
Well, that's too bad.
Why?
Well, I've got to run over to Inverness to investigate a haunted town.
A haunted town? How thrilling.
Except that such a thing is impossible.
Oh, it is?
Sure, but I kind of thought if maybe you were still, well, I guess we better forget it.
Forget it, nothing. I'm going with you.
Nah. You better wait on that.
No excuses. I'll put on my face and another dress and waiting by the time you get here.
Yeah, but look, honey, I don't know if this is...
Oh, Johnny.
Okay, Nancy, I'll pick you up. Item number 3, $10.85, taxi and train for 2 to New York's Idlewild Airport. Item 4, $348.72 for 2 round-trip plane tickets to Tampa. And yes, Nancy Turner is officially my assistant on this trip for expense account purposes as part of my investigation. 5, $50 deposit on a rental car, and we headed north to Inverness. And every mile of the way,
Johnny, when we get there,
Nancy
I'll tell you what
chattered
we'll do.
away
We're
like a
looking for the
magpie.
haunted house.
She
Got
kept
all
quoting
these
some of the
books.
stuff
I've
she had read on the
them since you came
subject.
on.
A lot of authorities who have
Lots
decided
to
that
do
some
on
of the
subject.
reports
We
of
can
haunted
all get together and
houses,
look at it
people,
together.
things like
I
that,
can't wait
had
to
decided
get
that there really
When we
was
get there.
something
What
supernatural
time?
about
Are we
them.
almost there?
And you know what? After a while, I began to wonder. Yep, I began to wonder.
Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, begins in just a moment.
Once upon a time there was an engineer.
Choo-choo Charlie was his name, we hear. He had an engine and sure had fun.
He was just planning an engine to make the train run.
Charlie says, love my gun and plenty. Charlie says, Charlie says,
Plenty, don't know any other candy that I love so well.
Commercials were much shorter back in the old days. It was 29 minutes of content and 1 minute of ad.
And now, Act 2 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Ghost to Ghost Matter.
Inverness, Florida, nestled in amongst the pines and lakes of central West Florida, a town that was past its prime, and I could see the reason why. The old Ian McAndrews abandoned phosphate mines. The same old story, I guess, kind of everywhere when a town's main industry shuts down, it kind of goes to pot. Nonetheless, it was a charming little place, population maybe 400 or 500 or so. When we finally located Oscar Trimley's insurance office, there was a bit of a gathering there.
And Mr. Dollar, that is Miss Turner and Mr. Dollar. This is Charlie Reed, Sam Foster, and Tony Gregg.
Hello.
Hello, 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 hello.
We're sort of members of the local Businesses Merchants Club Association, Johnny, you know?
Okay, well then let's get to the point.
Sit down, sit down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Johnny, I thought over the phone that you were turning us down.
Yeah, I was. And then I thought of Nancy and her knowledge of the supernatural and changed my mind.
good, that's what we need.
Well, I am interested in the subject.
We're all a little worried about it.
Tony isn't kidding about that.
I think we're a pretty level-headed bunch, but, well, this has us scared.
That's putting it mildly.
If it really is his ghost that's plaguing us.
Oh, now, you don't seriously believe in
And
ghosts.
I'll tell you this, I never really did before either. But now wait, and you'll see.
Gee, Johnny.
Well, suppose you tell me what's happening.
Well,
No, Johnny. You'll have to see it for yourself.
and here.
Yes, Tony, and here.
And that means waiting until midnight.
Midnight?
Sure, Mr. Dollar.
Why, Tony?
Well, you'll see.
Yes, and meantime, you can look around. Say, Johnny, aren't you quite a fisherman?
I'd rather fish than eat, but now, look, if you want to get to the...
Oh, I'd love to go fishing, too.
Good. Well, the lakes are full of nice bass. Charlie, you can fix them up in a nice boat, can't you?
Sure can.
Well, look, if I'm going to investigate this stuff, I'm going to have to be given some time to do it.
Sam, if you can arrange for a place for Miss Turner to stay overnight.
Be glad to.
Well, now, look, I really want to see what this is all about.
And now, Johnny, you'll stay at my home, all right?
Fine. But I want to see what you're talking about.
No, I want you to see for yourself at midnight. Now, meantime, good fishing.
Right, now I gotta get back to the shop before Miss Bixley starts screaming about her hi-fi. See you later.
Well, I'll go back to the office and arrange for somewhere for Miss Turner to stay.
See you, Sam.
Well, look, can't you at least give me some idea what's going on here?
Nope, not a thing until midnight. Oh, and we'll have dinner together at the hotel.
Mr. Trimley.
Well, you ready, Miss Turner? Johnny?
Okay. You folks are the boss, I guess.
Fishing, Johnny.
Where are we? Fishing Nancy? Fishing Nancy?
Oh, I'd love it.
I'll even give you some of my fast stroke cooks I use.
Okay, let's go! There was something slightly screwy about the whole thing. And I don't mean just the talk of the ghost, but when I go fishing, and at company's expense, well, who's to complain? So Nancy and I spent the rest of the day on the lake, and a matter of fact, she caught the big one. By dinner time, we were starved. And the motel served us not only excellent cocktails, but a regular banquet, complete with champagne.
You enjoying it, Miss Turner?
Mm-hmm. Love it. Only why don't you call me Nancy?
Yes, let's be on a first-name basis.
Mr. Trimley, about this ghost matter.
This champagne, you know, comes from the old Leland Stanford Billiard.
Yes, and it's fine.
It's the finest I know.
But it's really time we talk about your ghost.
Hey, Johnny, did you catch any big ones out on the lake?
Yeah, Nancy got a 4-pounder, but about this...
Now, another thing about this fine California wine, it was aged in special casks and at a specific temperature.
Gentlemen and ladies, when are we going to talk about the ghost?
Hey, Nancy, did I see you out there navigating that boat on the lake? Why, I caught a big one out there last year and it weighed over 6 pounds.
That's great, Tony, but I'm guessing you landed him a whole lot quicker than you're telling me about your ghost. So I got nowhere. Finally, after a lot more food, wine, and chatter, we drove off in Tony's car.
Well, I'm stopping here in the middle of town, Johnny, because, well, this is the best place to be when things start popping.
Like what? Hey, when are you fellas going to stop this run around and start making sense?
You'll see.
I'm all excited.
Look, Johnny,
Yeah, Tony.
you see the old tower clock? It's almost midnight.
So what about it?
Well, Ian McAndrews passed away at the stroke of midnight, Johnny, and personally, I think that has something to do with this.
You know, you all still haven't told me about anything about the ghost.
Wait, listen. There goes the tower clock.
Oh, midnight.
Count them, Johnny. That was 4, 5.
And Johnny, you see how all the lights are flickering along the streets?
And that happens every night.
And no reason for it.
Look, bats. Millions of bats coming out of that clock tower.
Yeah, I see that. But I don't... What under the sun is that?
That's the ghost. He's wailing.
Oh, now wait a minute.
That scream fills the air, comes from everywhere.
That's a horrible sound, Johnny.
Easy, honey.
No, listen. Didn't you hear? That clock struck 13.
Yes, Johnny.
Why, yes.
If you ask me, the devil's in old McAndrew's ghost. That's why it comes out of his house every night.
Out of his house?
Right, Johnny. Wait till you see what's there.
Right.
Time for another commercial break.
Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, in a moment. Charlie says.
Camels by far America's most popular cigarette. Two of the reasons are flavor and mildness. No other cigarette has Camel's rich, full flavor, and no other cigarette offers this proof of mildness. In a coast-to-coast test of hundreds of people with normal throats, noted
Pall Mall, Camels.
not one single case of throat irritation.
37 doctors agree, no throat irritation in anyone who smokes.
Ever. Other brands buy billions of cigarettes per year.
5 billion.
And now, Act 3 of yours truly, Johnny Dollar and the Ghost to Ghost Matter.
Where is it?
Is the front door of this old house always that wide open? Is it always that wide open?
Yeah, Johnny. Sure. You want to go in?
Sure. Come on, Nancy.
I'm coming. I wish there was more light around here. Oh!
Okay, well, that's nice. It was slammed right in our faces. Not once, but twice.
I knew it.
Knew what, Sam? Let me have that flashlight, Tony.
Here you go.
No signs of wires or strings on it. Come on.
Okay, come on, everyone. Now, Johnny, as you can see, there's just one big room right down there.
Johnny,
Easy, Nancy, easy.
don't you see?
Look, I admit, it's all pretty strange, but a ghost?
What else? We've been over this house with a fine-tooth comb.
Listen, can you hear that?
Somebody is walking on the roof. Listen. Uh-oh.
That's the kind of stuff you hear.
Poltergeist.
Noisy spirits.
You can hear them, but you can't see them.
Don't you see, Johnny? It can't be anything normal or natural.
Is that it?
No, sir. The old ghost has a regular...
See? Hear those shutters banging? There's no wind out there.
Why didn't you tell me it'd be like this, Johnny? Let's look.
Yeah, there's lights moving around somewhere out there.
You could see the reflection in the trees.
Green ghost lights. Oh, Johnny, look. A chair, a rocking chair. It's rocking.
In front of the window where old Nick Andrews used to sit, looking out on the town before he died.
Give me that flashlight.
Here you go.
No strings or wires on this either.
Oh, my.
Well, that's the end of it. The same crazy routine every night.
Yep, it's the ghost of Ian McAndrews. That's all there is to it.
You know, from what you folks have showed me tonight, it kind of looks that way.
It is, Johnny.
But tomorrow, I want to investigate these things in broad daylight. I investigated them, all right. The old house, the clock tower, everything I could find. And thanks to the help of the group, we covered a lot of ground. Result, nothing. Meanwhile, I noticed the town, the sleepy little town of Inverness, was being mobbed. People from all over, streets jammed with cars. So we sat down for lunch at the hotel.
Miss, waitress, will you please bring another cup of... dear, she didn't hear me.
Where do they all come from?
Yeah, business has certainly picked up around here.
Why, yes, I noticed that.
Any idea why, Sam?
Not the least.
Well, no wonder Charlie couldn't be here with us for lunch. He's at his print shop getting out an extra.
Excuse me. Aren't you Johnny Dollar, the investigator?
Yeah, that's right.
Man, I could really use you. Now, just let me get a picture.
Now wait a minute.
Hold it right there. Okay, now, thanks.
Hey, that photographer He's from one of the Tampa newspapers.
No kidding.
Really?
Listen, if Pat Price and International Press gave out the word about this ghost story... Okay, Nance, y'all finished?
Uh-huh.
All right, then Oscar, Tony, we're going to leave you with the check and pull out.
You mean leave town?
Yep, going back to Hartford.
But Johnny...
I've investigated, I've come up with nothing, so there's no point in staying around any longer.
Come on.
Oh,
Johnny! Why would you do that?
And Oscar, I'll send you my expense account. Give up? Hardly. Sure, Nancy and I hit the highway, but for only a few miles. And then shortly after dark, we drove back. And we waited several hours till just before midnight. Nancy and I quietly walked up to the front.
You mean you didn't leave a message at my office to be here tonight?
I certainly didn't. I found a message from Charlie.
Are you kidding? Somebody left me a message at my place, too.
Well, I'll be darned. Me too.
Well, I wonder who could have.
Nice job, Nance. And of course, they couldn't have known your handwriting.
Wait a minute. There's somebody outside.
Huh?
Johnny?
What the heck? Holy cow. Why is he back?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Why, I thought you'd left town, young man.
Well, that's right. I wanted you all to think that. Listen, the old tower clock has started to strike midnight.
Why, yeah, that's right. That's 5, 6.
Folks, I suddenly realized that in all my investigation this morning, I was being handicapped by what I thought was help.
Handicap? How so? What do you mean? What are you
I had
talking about?
too much help. 2 or 3 of you were with me every second.
Well, we wanted to be sure you didn't overlook anything.
That's right.
Actually, you wanted to be sure I would overlook some things.
Oh, no.
Now wait. That's 11, 12. Hey, it only struck 12.
Holy crap. Wonder why I did that. What happened?
I don't know.
And no ghostly wail tonight, is there?
Why, no.
No, there's not, because the ghost is no more.
You found the ghost, Johnny?
Yeah, I found out that he's you, or maybe all of you.
I don't
but
think so.
yes.
You're just pulling our leg. That's not true.
Alone, without your careful guidance, I discovered the subcellar in the old McAndrews house.
But Johnny. Oh, you did?
I did!
All right.
And that maze of complicated electrical stuff, making the weird sound effects, the rocking chair, the banging shutters, and so on, very clever. Was that your handiwork, Tony?
Sure.
But Johnny.
Folks, listen, it was a wonderful publicity stunt, especially after international press was notified. And all your businesses are doing gangbusters, and for the town, it's putting Inverness on the map again, which is to say, the motive wasn't entirely selfish. And because of that, and that alone, I won't give you away, provided the ghost of Ian McAndrews never walks the streets of Inverness, Florida again.
Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening.
No problem.
You messed it all up.
That's not right.
That's not right.
Wait a minute. I know it's not you all, because you're all here. And I pulled the power to your little trick bag. So you couldn't have done it again tonight. So guess what? I think the ghost of Ian McAndrews is real. Happy Halloween, everyone. Johnny Dollar signing Thank you, one and all. You have all been a fantastic audience. Thank you so much. All right, we'll do a little credits here. First of all, thank you all for being here. It's important to thank those people who allowed this and made this happen. Special thanks to Kathy Turner-Thompson and Lindsay Gilbert for all their assistance. That's Lindsay, man, and the camera. We're going to edit out some of these parts. No, just kidding. It's all part of the natural weather. Kathy Turner and Lindsay for their assistance and flexibility and cooperation they gave us. Sometimes we said we'd be here till 8, ended up being 9 o'clock, and we thank them for that. Never gave us attitude about it either. Thanks to the Citrus County Historical Society and the Inverness Cultural Council, and I'm actually going to go over to this mic and let all of our fabulous cast, as I say your name, walk up center stage. Paul, you're done doing ghostly wails and all those other kinds of things. You can come up. I think it's the hat they like, Paul. Our cast is comprised double, first and foremost, the sound effects table, done with the creative artistry and innovation of Paul Wojtaszek, who was also the announcer in Canterville, and Johnny Dollar. And assisted by Brenda Hart. Next, and equally important at conveying the mood, Juliet Selecki in Canterville, and then the musical excellence and improvisation of Andrea Migliaccio, who learned about this like 3 days ago, in Johnny Dollar. Let's hear for Andrea. And now to our cast. Our actors are Helena Humph as Dear Sweet Virginia in Canterville, and as Nancy Turner, Johnny's young flame in Johnny Dollar. Lisa Kemmerling as the slightly addled, slightly tipsy Mrs. Umney in Canterville, and as Tony and Johnny Dollar. Sandy Weaver is one of the irrepressible twins in Canterville, and as Sam and Johnny Dollar. Susan Villick as the judge in Canterville, and as Charlie in Johnny Dollar. Mary Ann Gonter as the other irrepressible twin in Canterville, and who had a double role as Pat Price and the reporter in Johnny Dollar. Nancy Davis, we mentioned, we'll give her another one, is Mrs. Otis, queen of the Durkenheimer stain removers. Barry Weaver, the Jet Clampett of Victorian times, is Mr. Hiram B. Otis in Canterville, and as Oscar Trimley and Johnny Dollar, and I'm Rob Humph as Johnny Dollar, along with the Ghost in Canterville. We thank you all very much for being here. Your laughs for everything.